Hello there, I'm Vigalius. Let's sit down and have a chat. It's late at night, and I'm just sat here staring at my waveforms, and so let's do some update corner shit. I like to do these videos. I know that I tackle a lot on this channel. I get very conceptual, very deep. I mean, when you consider the notion that in the space of a week I might post 3 videos where I'm getting deep with concepts and emotions and feelings, and I understand that it can be overwhelming. And then straight after that, I'll be like, hey, check it out. Here's a new game, a new low graphic early access Game Pass game. Check it out. It's slosh. I'm covering a lot of ground at the moment, and so I like to sit down and have these chats sometimes. And also, this one was spurred on by a moment that happened on this channel. I'm going to sound really bitter and resentful for making a whole video about this, but I feel as though these things, should be said, and I want to explain myself, and the things that have happened, because I think it's quite interesting, and I do like delving into the process of this channel. So recently, and it was on my Redfall video, I got a comment where, the title of the video is Redfall Still Bad. Because I think the game is, better but still bad, in retrospect to its release when everyone hated it. And I got a comment saying, your views still low. I don't get many views on these videos, and I totally agree. Now, firstly, I've deleted the comment since. If you've spent a lot of time on the internet, interacting with people on the internet, you eventually learn that that's the easiest thing to do. And I know that there's a lot of virtuosity to asking for constructive feedback, or having a good response, or rising above it and ignoring it, but over time you realize that actually that's just a complete fool's errand, and the easiest thing you can do is just get rid of it and not bother with it, ignore it. Contrary to what I'm doing right now, I do understand that. But it's not that it rubbed me the wrong way. It's, I get this comment a few times a year, I'd say, on videos, and predictably it's typically on videos where I'm giving my opinion on something, and even more so if I'm giving my opinion on something, where it's quite controversial. People like to point this out because it feels like, retaliation to what I'm saying, and the thing is not what they want me to say, and that's fine, and it's not inaccurate. It is true. My view counts on this channel are not great. So I suppose I should explain that to you. So firstly, the view counts are very varying. I don't have very consistent views. Sometimes I'll get 200 or 700 views on a video, just completely innocuously. It could just be any type of video and I'll just get a lot of views just randomly. And then sometimes, I'll end up with a video on 20 views, and, it doesn't do nearly as well. I'm fine with this. I feel as though I've explained myself 1,000 times, but I don't make these videos for views and subscribers. I make them in order to have a database of videos that I made, so I can look back and say, I produced all of this, and, it's something to do. I'm a very busy man, and I like to have a hobby, something to actually apply myself to, and this is that. I like having these chats, I do really enjoy it. So, that's the core reason it doesn't really, matter to me. But I think one reason people do comment this is that they see that I think it's around about 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers. I don't even know. And I have such low view counts, and I'm sure a lot of people are confused by that, even people who may regularly watch my videos. So I suppose I should explain why this is the case. If you track back and look throughout my channel, you'll learn that I have made intermittent attempts to be consistent on this channel, and I think twice it's actually happened, back in 2012 and in 2018 / majority of 2019. Those were the only times when I was actually able to be consistent, and consistency is very important. One thing that you'll learn if you create content for as long as I have on this channel is that the moment you take some sort of break and you're completely inconsistent with your uploads, people just drop off and people don't care. But what really exacerbates this is that yes, I have a fairly high subscriber count for the number of views that I'm pulling in, and that's because back in 2018 I made a huge push to network this channel and push the channel out to as many people as possible. In some cases, honestly unsolicited, to the point where I kind of had to put the brakes on because I was worried that I was about to sort of be banned from some of the platforms that I use because I was doing so much to push this channel out. And it was working in terms of getting subscribers, and I would average on a few hundred views for every video, and I had a lot of engagement on my videos, and sometimes I would get like 40 likes or something like that, and the view counts were sort of matching the subscriber count actually, and it was great. But what you learn when you do that is that it's not a captive audience, and when people turn up and they're like, oh, this is what this guy's doing, and yes, I am going to subscribe because the guy wants me to, it's a very fleeting and in the moment thing, and these people probably honestly aren't going to come back. The best way to retain subscribers is to make stuff that people find on their own, and if they find it on their own, then they feel compelled themselves to subscribe, and they will probably come back when that happens. And I didn't know that then. So what I have is this big bundle of subscribers that I gained years ago, who were just there for the first video and maybe the second video that they saw. And then I completely dropped off and they completely forgot about me. So essentially every single one of those subscribers is not going to come back and is completely empty. I don't think I have anyone watching these videos now who consistently has watched throughout my entire career on this channel, but that's what happened, and I know this is falling on deaf ears, and the irony that you would have to watch this video as well as the video that you're commenting on in order to understand why that is the case is not lost on me. But I don't know, I just think it's interesting. Be very careful when you put your name out there, because it's something I didn't consider, and yeah, I don't know, just watch out for it. I mean, that's how it worked out for me. But again, none of this matters, and I don't make these videos for views, but I don't know how many times I have to say that. But yeah, it's what it is. I guess I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.